Gene Silva is now the last man standing. He is the last fighting nerd. And because he is the last one, there's going to be so much pressure on him not to lose this fight against Diego Lopes. September 13th, UFC NOCHE is happening this Saturday. We're going to go through the whole card. We're going to start from the top. I don't care about starting from the bottom because, let's be honest, this card is dookie. This card is stinky. It's shitty. Next, the week after, Olberg versus Reyes isn't that good either, but it's a little bit better than this. This is just a really stinky card. But the main event isn't stinky. Diego Lopes, rank 2 versus Gene Silva, rank 10. In my video talking about which fighting nerd could be champion, I said that Gene Silva has the highest chance out of all the fighting nerds. I did think Rufy was going to beat BSD, which is a shock to me seeing him tap out. I did not think that Caio Baralho was going to beat Imavov, and Caio Baralho is never going to be a middleweight champion. But Gene Silva, he's going against number 2. If he beats Diego Lopes, they're going to do the Volkanovski fight against Lerone Murphy, and they're probably going to do Gene Silva up against Movsar Evloev. We're not going to talk about the Movsar Evloev fight. Hold your horses. We're not there yet. Diego Lopes. Does Diego Lopes beat Gene Silva? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Diego Lopes, I would say he's a faster striker, so he has that advantage. He's got decent kicks, but hey, Gene Silva, he's eating these leg kicks. He's eating these calf kicks. He literally looks down his foot and he's like that. And I don't like the cockiness from Gene Silva. That is the only weakness that I give Gene Silva so far. He doesn't have any weaknesses except for his cockiness in the octagon. You can be cocky outside of the octagon, that's no problem. Just don't be Anderson Silva getting knocked out by Weidman. It can happen to anybody. I don't want to see that, but I don't think that's going to happen this Saturday. Look at that fight with Bryce Mitchell. He doesn't give a fuck about takedowns. Bryce Mitchell tried so many single leg takedowns. He's like a fuck. He's a tank. He doesn't give a fuck. He looks down. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Bryce? Bryce Mitchell. I want to fight Bryce Mitchell. This guy's an animal. He is a menace. He's had a horrible childhood. Something horrible shit happened to his mother and stuff like that. This guy's going to beat Diego Lopes. He is. Diego Lopes can't take him down. And if he does, he's just going to plop right back up. He's violent. He's violent and he's scary. Look at those elbows that he threw against Melsik Bagdasaryan, or however you say his name, the Armenian guy. All the fights before then, he looks unstoppable. He looks invincible. Nobody's invincible. It's MMA. Anything can happen. Blah, 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 blah. I'm picking Gene Silva to beat Diego Lopes. What else is there to say? Oh, but Diego Lopes, he's got good counters. He's snappy. He's fast. Look what he did against Brian Ortega. Who cares about Brian Ortega? Oh, he knocked down Volkanovski. Volkanovski is past his prime. He should have beat Volkanovski, but he couldn't. He lost to Movsar Evloev. Diego Lopes, he's on the cusp of an elite fighter, but I don't consider Diego Lopes to be elite. I don't. Gene Silva, depending on how this fight goes, if he gets him out of there fast, he will be elite. He'll be elite beating Diego Lopes in dominant fashion. I don't want this fight to go to decision. If this fight goes to decision, it's not going to look good on Gene. And the psychological aspect, let's talk about that. He saw his buddy, Mauricio Rufy, get choked out. He knows that he needs to win this fight. There's all this pressure on him, a good type of pressure, not a bad pressure. There's this sense that, okay, I can't fuck around. I can't goof around. My entire team's name is on the line. The Fighting Nerds a year ago looked unstoppable. And now 3 of them have lost. And Gene Silva's the only guy left. He's not going to lose. He's not going to lose this one. So yeah, I'm picking Gene Silva. And then from here on out, all these other fights, they're all dookie. All of these fights are dookie. We got Kelvin Gastelum. Okay. Co-main event, Rob Font. It was supposed to be against that deformed teenager, Raul Rosas Jr., that homunculus lab experiment gone wrong. But it's Rob Font. He's 38 and it's bantamweight. When you're 38 and you're bantamweight, it's not a good sign. But hey, it's the year of the Unks. I'm going to pick Rob Font. David Martinez, he's taking this on short notice. David Martinez has never faced a higher ranked guy like this. Rob Font, he's a veteran of the sport. I'm just going to pick him. Okay. What else is there to say? Do I care about this fight? I don't care about any of these fights, really. Rafa Garcia versus Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon beat Paddy Pimblett. I don't care what anybody says. Jared Gordon's tough. He's a tough guy. Rafa Garcia. Mexican versus white American. I just remember that horrible robbery he had with... That Paddy Pimblett fight happened a while ago. King Green, Marco Madsen, Thiago Moises. He went split decision against Nasrat Haqparast, who beat Esteban Ribovic, who's a good fighter. And Thiago Moises, he's decent himself. Right? It was this guy, right? Yeah, Esteban Ribovic. He hasn't fought since. He's from Morocco. I'm just going to go with Jared Gordon. Yeah. Move on. Kelvin Gastelum versus Dustin Stolfus. Now, this fight, I'm more hyped for this fight than I am for these two. What do Kelvin Gastelum and Dustin Stolfus have in common? Do you know? They both fought Joe Pyfer. Kelvin Gastelum lost to Joe Pyfer. He had a horrible first round, but he came back in the third round. I can't believe he took that fight. That's such a scary fight. Dustin Stolfus fought Joe Pyfer back in the Contender Series a long time ago, and he beat Joe Pyfer. I think it was because that was the fight where Joe Pyfer was injured in his arm. He hurt himself or something. I think that was the one. I'm going to pick Kelvin Gastelum. Mexican brick house. Look at this man. Look at this man's body. A fridge. Some of these Mexicans, like Kelvin Gastelum, Andy Ruiz, if you watch boxing and you know who Andy Ruiz is, they're tough. The more pounds and the more tortillas and beans, frijoles, enchiladas, empanadas, the more they eat, the tougher they get. How the fuck did Kelvin Gastelum get back up twice against those bombs from Joe Pyfer? I don't know. Do I think Dustin Stolfus has knockout power akin to Joe Pyfer? No, the fuck he doesn't. Kelvin Gastelum will survive Dustin Stolfus' punches, and he will win the fight by decision. You heard it here first, folks. Kelvin Gastelum, easy pick. Dustin Stolfus, who has he beaten? His best win was Joe Pyfer in the Contender Series, and that was because Joe Pyfer got hurt. Don't quote me on that. I think that was when Joe Pyfer got hurt. He also beat Marc-Andre Barriol, the weak Frenchman. Yeah, Frenchmen are weak. Santiago Luna versus Quang Le, Vietnam. We don't get many Vietnamese fighters. This guy doesn't even have a picture. But does that mean I'm going to pick Quang Le? No, I'm not. I'm not picking Quang Le. Quang Le. I fuck you in your ass, you Mexican. I fuck you in your ass, Santiago Luna. You like that? You like that? You take my Vietnamese schlong, my bayonet. You take my Vietnamese bayonet in your ass, motherfucker. I'm picking Santiago Luna, even though he doesn't have a picture. $1 billion fucking company. I think Mexicans are stronger than Vietnamese. I think Vietnamese, in this bantamweight, so, you know, a lot of these Vietnamese guys, they have to be fighting in these smaller divisions because they're small people. I'm just going to pick Santiago Luna. I don't know anything about Santiago Luna except for the fact that he's Mexican, so we're just going to keep it at that. But yeah, if I'm going to pick between a Mexican and a Vietnamese, I'm just going to stick to the Mexican, even though he doesn't have a picture, even though this is UFC debut, most likely. Prelims. Why is this fight in the prelims? Alexander Hernandez already back so fast after knocking out Chase Deshaun Hooper. Man, I like to hoop, cause my name Deshaun Hooper, man. Versus Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira is 40 years old at lightweight? I know it's the year of the Unks, but 40... Like, 40 is so much worse than 38. You can still fight at 38. At 40, you're getting there. I'm picking Alexander Hernandez. Short, stocky, powerful. Put down Chase Hooper. I'm not picking Ferreira. I'm not. He's a white Mexican. I know it says for me he's United States, but no, he's a white Mexican. Hernandez, un gringo, un guerrito. Jose Daniel Medina versus Dusko Todorovic. Now, I think Serbs are superior to Bolivians. However, Jose Daniel Medina is a Bolivian unlike any other. He is a 1 in a million type of Bolivian. He's like 6'1". This is a middleweight fight. He's 6'1". In case you don't know, Bolivians are like the shortest people in the world. They are the average man over there is like 5'2", 5'3". I'm not kidding you. So the fact that this guy's 6'1", he is a complete anomaly. It's like Victor Wembanyama, like Wemby. He's a complete anomaly to their people, and he's got a chin. Anybody can get knocked out by Ateba Gautier. Anybody. He got kneed on the chin from Ateba, which knocked him out. But he was eating some bombs, and he said kept coming. Dusko Todorovic, like I said, I think Serbs are superior to Bolivians. But this guy, look at this guy. Does this guy look like a superior specimen to you? I mean, really, look at his face. I'm not picking this Serb. There was a card recently where it was a Serb fighter, and I knew to pick him over the other fighter. I have to look back. I can't remember who it was. But I'm not picking Dusko Todorovic. I'm picking Jose Daniel Medina. Daniel Medina, he's tough. I'm sticking with Jose Daniel Medina, and that's final. I'm picking this based on ethnicity. Again, I would pick the Serb over the Bolivian 9 times out of 10. But this Bolivian, he's a unicorn. He's a diamond in the rough. Anybody can get knocked out by Ateba Gautier in the middleweight division. The way you beat Ateba Gautier, the middleweight Ngannou, is by taking him down. You're not going to beat him on the striking. Ateba Gautier is going to knock out Ozzy Diaz, by the way, too. I'll make a video on that. Lightweight, Claudio Puelles versus Joaquim Silva. Oh, God. Talk about a mid-off, huh? Claudio Puelles. Peru versus Brazil. Ooh, this is very tough. This is really, really tough. Peruvians are really shit at fighting. They're really, really shit at fighting. James Lontop, horrible fighter. Came in overweight, loses to Rufi. Kevin Borjas loses to fucking Chinese guy. And then there's another Peruvian that, like, oh man. Do I stick with Joaquim Silva? Joaquim Silva is so mediocre and dog shit himself, though. I really don't know. This is such a tough one. I hate picking these fights where it's like they're both dog shit. Brazilian versus Peruvian. I'm just going to stick with Brazilian. Peruvians, take it from me, I'm Ecuadorian. Peruvians are so dog shit at fighting. They are horrible fighters. And I know he's more like European looking Peruvian. Like you can tell he's got some more European blood. I'm still not buying it. Joaquim Silva, I'm going to stick to him even though he's horrible. Move on. These fights I really don't care for. Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. Let's go with Suarez. Let's go with Tatiana Suarez. All-American wrestler. Dog shit performance against Zhang Wei Li. Who cares? Amanda Lemos, she's horrible. She's horrible and she's old, isn't she? Pretty sure she's old. Oh no, all these fights. Oh God, so many blank profile pictures. Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Garul. Mexico versus US. He's not white. This is UFC NOCHE. So there's lots of Mexican fighters. They're probably, this flyweight, they're probably doing these matchups to favor the Mexicans. I'm going to stick with Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar is going to beat Luis Garul. Zachary Reese versus Cedric Dumas. Cedric Dumas lost to Mikhailo Oleksiejczuk. He's been in trouble with the law. I saw his mugshot. He looks like a horrible, disgusting subhuman of a man. I mean, I hate tattoos where it's just random shit. What does that say? Hood war? Oh my God, man. What a face tattoos. His eyes look dead. He looks like a dead human. I'm not picking Cedric as Dumas. I'm not. Let's look at Zachary Reese. He's got some weird oh, no, his tattoos are better. He doesn't have tattoos on his face. He's got some decent sleeves. I don't really like tattoos on the abs. And here's the thing, I don't have any tattoos. And this is going to be a controversial opinion, because I know a lot of people in the West get tattoos. The United Kingdom are obsessed with tattoos. Americans are obsessed with tattoos. I'm not. I think tattoos is a sign of low IQ. If you are mad at that statement because you yourself have tattoos, you are getting something on your body that's going to be there for the rest of your life. At one point in your life, you probably will regret getting it. It's a sign of low IQ because you made a rash and quick decision without thinking about the consequences through. Both of these guys have tattoos, but Cedric Dumas has tattoos on his fucking face. That is Australian Aboriginal levels of IQ right there. Please don't ban me, YouTube. Please don't ban me. That is an Australian Aboriginal right there. Super duper low IQ. 30 IQ points for Cedric Dumas. Zachary Reese is going to piece him up. He's going to beat the shit out of Cedric Dumas. You heard it here first, folks. And sometimes I give melanin points. I'm not giving melanin points for Cedric Dumas. I'm not. Being black's not going to save you from Zachary Reese. Not in this fight. Alessandro Costa versus Alden Correa. Another blank fighter. Brazil versus United States. Alden Correa. Do we have his picture if I click on him here? No, we don't. God, $1 billion fucking company. It's like we have to. I don't like using Topology. I like using the. Fine, we'll use Topology. We'll use fucking Topology just so we can see what these people look like. Scroll down. What's his name? Alden Correa. There he is. 10-3 versus 14. Can I zoom in? Let's zoom in a little bit. He's unranked. It's UFC debut. We're going to go with Alessandro Costa. And the reason why is because of the UFC debut. You gotta... I'm looking at their... He's a minus 400 favorite. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Alessandro Costa. Minus 400 favorite. This guy's having his UFC debut. We're just going to use Topology. Okay. Alice Pereira versus Montserrat Rendon. Montserrat. Am I a casual if I don't know who these people are? You don't know who Alice Pereira is? You fucking casual? Yeah, I don't know. We're just going to stick with her. And then Rodrigo Cezinado versus Daniel Donchenko. A Ukrainian. Eastern Europeans. I think Eastern Europeans are superior to Brazilians. Some versions of Brazil. There's so many different types of Brazilians. Yeah, horrible fucking card. So yeah, we're just going to stick with the Ukrainian. Eastern Europeans, BTFO. Rodrigo, look at this guy. Rodrigo Cezinado. You're going to get knocked out by Alexander Usyk's prodigy. These were canceled fights. We had, Raul Rosas. Raquel Pennington versus Norma Jamont. No, I wanted to see Norma Jamont. I love seeing Norma Jamont. I love Norma Jamont. I'm a big fan of her big, fat, juicy personality and her fighting style. And I definitely would not be smelling and sniffing Norma Jamont's car seat. And neither would any of you disgusting perverts. Norma Jamont, she is a talented fighter, and I watch her fights because I'm interested in her performance, and I would have loved to seen her dominate Raquel Pennington. 135. She's bantamweight, big woman. God damn, she's sexy. God damn. Let's look at, oh, she's one of those Southern European Brazilians from the South and the border with Argentina and Uruguay. God damn. Ooh, I don't like the tattoo. I'll be honest, I don't like the tattoo. Oh, but I love the shape. Okay, peace out. Subscribe to my channel, motherfuckers. Stop. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you watching this far? Nobody watches these types of videos all the way into the end. If you're watching this all the way until the end, comment down below. Norma Jamont, Seat Sniffing Crew, checking in. Type that in the comments so I know you watched this. But I don't think anybody did. So, yeah, peace out. Subscribe.